And now, weighing in out of the blue corner, Josh the Punk Thompson. 100% agree. And on the other mic, he weighs in from the red corner, Big John McCarthy.
Well, now it's the end of UFC 259. We had 3 world title fights take place, and it's time to talk about not only those fights, but the other fights on the card and some of the controversy that went along with it. We got a big show coming up, a lot to talk about. Josh Thompson, you're going to be a busy man talking about all of this officiating stuff. I can't wait to hear your opinion.
Well, I wasn't really too much into the officiating portion of it all. I mean, I felt like the Herb Dean portion of it, of course, but that's just me and Herb. So any chance I get a chance to stick it into Herb like that, but look, I think there's a lot of good things. I thought the prelims were phenomenal.
Oh,
I thought they were absolutely great. Now, I don't want to be a total. I want to be honest and upfront with you guys. I missed the fights up until Sean Brady. I saw the Sean Brady and Jake Matthews fight. I got caught up at a friend's baby shower, one of my teammates. And so I missed the first 3 fights. I heard they were good. I didn't get a chance to see them. So I'm being upfront, so I'm not going to try to fake the funk. John, so you have to carry us through the first prelims.
Well, if you recall, I was trying to bump up Trevin Jones because both of us looked at Mario Batista was probably the favorite in that fight. Yeah. But I told you that Trevin Jones gets after you, man. You know what? He's a stud. Got the win, man. He got the referee stoppage early into the second round. A big win for Trevin Jones. And you know what? It just goes to show, man, on a given night, doesn't matter who you think's going to win. The person that just comes out and does their job the way that they want to do it. That's what Trevin Jones did. So that was a really nice win. The second one with Medic, man, there was a big controversy with Mark Smith and the stoppage. And it was because Joe Rogan and your man DC were stop the fight. They were probably right. It should have stopped earlier. 67 unanswered punches. There was a fight, and it's one of those. I understand what Mark was trying to do. There was a fight that I did the same thing to him. In Bellator, it was Aaron Pico against Leandro Higo. Remember that fight?
Yes, I do.
And Pico landed some huge shots on Higo, and Higo was hurt, and he let it go to the point where basically he got put out. And I was like, man, stop the fight, because I could see he's not able to fight anymore, not intelligently, not to do things. And if you go back and you look at Cruz in that fight, he was just covering. And there comes the point you got to say, hey, and you could see Mark at times, he made that move like he wanted to stop, and then he thought he saw something and he stopped, and it just kind of progressed more. So should it have been stopped earlier? Yeah, it should have. So that was really the thing with that fight.
You brought up DC and Joe Rogan yelling, stop the fight. And we had the problem back in the day with Dan Hardy. But as we get into this, remind me again about that, especially when we get up to the Aljamain Sterling and Petr Yan fight, about the Rogan and the DC thing. So when we get to there, go ahead and remind me, and I'll give you my 2 cents on that type of input. But
it's so funny because you look at that fight and you look at everything that happened as far as all of the output that was put onto Cruz by Medic. And then the next fight, Amanda Lemos comes out and she is just serving up a buffet of different shots on Souza and hurts her and staggers her and everything. And Jason Herzog, that's it, you're done. But a lot of people could look and say, oh, it was early. No, it was the right call because he could see the way that Souza was responding was not good. So it was one of those, we went from letting it go really long to we're not going to let it go long at all. But it was the right call by Jason Herzog. And Lemos looked sharp, man. Yeah. She looked good. Man, you got to really be impressed by the way that she just controlled. I've seen Lavina Souza fight many times, and she's a really good ground fighter. Her stand-up is decent. It didn't look decent at all against Lemos. She was just that much better. Stronger, bigger power, bad. It's what happens.
Yeah.
Then you saw Sean Brady and Jake Matthews.
Jeez.
Dude, he's a stud. I told you, that was the whole thing, man, going into it.
Just domination.
Man.
The whole thing, control, positioning, just the strength. You saw the physical strength of him is just like Why isn't Matthews like moving or turning? He just couldn't. He couldn't do anything.
And that's a guy that knows how to roll, man.
Yeah.
He was just the pressure that Brady was creating at certain times. And you could tell, man, he kept reaching, and he's not going for the one-arm guillotine. And I know Joe was calling it, and it can get to that, but he's grabbing, when someone reaches through and grabs your chin.
Yeah.
And then sits back, and he was right. He uses his lat to create a pressure that pushes into that. Then it just shuts down your ability to breathe well. A lot of little tiny things going on that thing. And then finally, that last bit, Jake Matthews, you saw when that arm triangle came up and Matthews was kind of holding on to that leg and keeping him, but he was still feeling the pressure.
Yeah.
And that's why the leg passed. And that's why he got to that perfect spot of being towards the side, and it was over. He had to tap out, and just a hell of a performance by Sean Brady. He's going to be in the welterweights giving some people problems for a long time.
He's undefeated, correct? What, 16-0? 14-0? Yeah, he looked very dominant, just very composed. Everything
against a good fighter.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I was expecting, and I don't want to take anything away from Jake Matthews. I was just expecting a lot more. I was expecting more of a scramble. I was expecting more of, a fight for that bottom position to, make some more movements. I was expecting a couple submission attempts. There was never a moment there where he looked like he had an opportunity to get up off the bottom.
No, you're absolutely right. I was kind of looking at it because of both their backgrounds and knowing how they're both really good on the ground. I was kind of looking at it as going to be that Sydney Outlaw, Adam Piccolotti.
Yeah.
Two guys just, reversal here, sweep over, just all these different grappling techniques. No, there was a lot of grappling techniques, but it was all offensive by one guy and one guy trying to defend to keep himself safe by the other. It was a good fight, but, dominant.
14-0. 14-0. Pull up the rankings if you can. What do you think? Who do you think next? I mean,
for who?
For Sean Brady.
See, I look and say Sean Brady should be. You want to go with a good fight? Michael Chiesa. Do it.
That high up, though.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Not like a Jeff Neal or
I know he called out. He kind of called out, Bilal Muhammad based upon him losing, which is like, that's not a good call out. That's not smart. Now you could sit there and say, well, you could put him against someone based like a Jeff Neal.
Who losing?
Again, based upon, Bilal's going to fight next week against Leon Edwards. And he goes, if Bilal loses, that was a fight that was supposed to happen. I'd like to have that. And it's like, that's not a good call out.
Yeah. Pick out a winner.
Yeah. I mean, pick out something I think that Michael Chiesa and him would be a hell of a fight.
That's a big jump though, John.
No, it's not. It's a righteous jump because if you look at it on the feet, Sean Brady's better than Michael Chiesa. On the ground, Michael Chiesa is really good, and he's got a lot of technique that he basically makes his own, and he does things a little bit different. And he's good.
He's big. He's tall.
He's a 155 pounder for a long time. He's tall.
He should have never been in that weight class.
No, 170 is definitely his weight.
Yeah.
But I think to stay with Brady, he's going to have to take the fight to the ground. That's going to be interesting to me. That would be, he could win it, and I think Brady could win it. So that's a good matchup.
Yeah, I was thinking of somebody. Go back to the rankings, please. I was thinking of someone like Jeff Neal, Vicente Luque, like something like that. I mean, if I was going to take him all the way up, I would maybe say Tyron Woodley. That's a name. He's 14-0. Why not give him someone like a former champion like T Wood?
Yeah, but he's going off of how many losses now? Where if you look at Chiesa's coming off of straight wins, man.
John, we're in the business of building new stars. Okay,
exactly.
Do that off of Tyron Woodley if you're going to do it.
You are so cruel to he's got 3 losses in a row.
You can't tell me that the UFC probably isn't already thinking that. That's what they're probably thinking. Like we have a guy who's 14-0. He's very dominant. He's
here, just so he's fighting Vicente Luque coming up, and he's going to be 0-4 in his next fight.
Yeah, I like T Wood, man.
So do I. I love Tyron. He's a great guy. It's just that It's, the tide is turning, Father Time has stepped in and things are just not what they used to be.
Yep. No, I know. I've been there. I know. Yeah. What else? Oh, okay. To me, this fight was really fucking good.
It was awesome.
Was the Carlos Ulberg or whatever? And I can't even say this last name. I'll just call him Kennedy. That fight was really good.
Kennedy Nzechukwu is awesome because I thought, going into it, looking at it, I said, it'll be a decent fight. Then they started off. I'm like, oh my God, Kennedy's going to get killed. And he was getting rocked and he just stayed solid and tough. And all of a sudden, and they're going, man, the speed difference and everything. And I'm going, yeah, they're right. They're right. There's a big speed difference. But all of a sudden, his shot started landing and you go, oh, Ulberg's getting tired.
Yeah.
Ulberg's he's gassing. He's getting hurt. And I loved the way that Saud in his corner tells him, hey, this is the fight we wanted. We're in this for the 3 rounds. This is going to be 3 rounds. You're going to get this. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, the way to go, man. And went out there and heard him put him down. Just a bitchin' comeback as far as you look at, the way it was, starting out and then the way it finished. Great win. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah. If you take a look at how Kennedy fought, it's very similar to how Petr Yan was fighting. He was letting Aljo use all the energy. He was letting Carlos Ulberg use all the energy, and he was picking and choosing his shots and his moments to strike. He was just covering up, walking forward, putting pressure, making someone fight on their back heels, making them punch when they didn't want to punch. That makes them more tired. And he was started kind of moving his head a little bit, and he was able to kind of make a miss. He did take some clean shots, but nothing was enough to really hurt him. In the first round it was, but not like anything in the second round and into the beginning of the third. Nothing really not the beginning of the third, but in the second round, not a whole lot to really hurt him. But I thought it was a great game plan. Just keep walking him down, and
pressure.
just see if being that it was his first like big fight in the UFC, giving him a chance to exhaust himself. The adrenaline's up. I think Joe even said he's feeling the adrenaline dump. He came out fresh though. Carlos came out fresh in the second round. I was like, oh, maybe he's not as tired. But then as the round went on, but 2.5 minutes in, you could tell his arms started getting heavier. He started laboring in the punches. He started pushing out his punches. He kept trying to like throw and then dip out right away, and he was leaning into things. I was like, oh man, he's getting tired. Those arms feel like fucking bricks right now. He's just trying to hold his arms up.
There was 100-pound dumbbells on the end of each of them, man.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
Shit, man.
Yeah, but it was a fun fight. Really was. I enjoyed every bit of it.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah,
nice win for Kennedy. There.
But the thing is, though, is with Kennedy, those fights, don't happen all the time. You can't fight everybody that way. Certain people you can, but you can't fight everyone that way. So if you want to have a long career, you're going to have to make some adjustments. I thought it was a great game plan for that opponent, specifically for that opponent. But if you're going to try to fight everyone that way, you're going to have a short career because people will just punch right through that shit. People that have a lot of power.
Yeah, power.
And they have learned how to sit down on their punches and stand their ground and just go shot for shot because they know they can outdo you. So just words to your wise, buddy. Good stuff.
Yeah, look, he went in there, got another win.
Yep,
he's doing good. He had a long layoff because of injuries and stuff. So this is a way to come back and do it. I was impressed.
Let me talk to you a little bit about the Tim Elliott situation.
Hold on, let me ask you a question. I just noticed this. You have a new background. There's no gold.
I got sick of that shit. I was like, man,
that was the gaudiest crap ever. I really like it. Very clean.
Yeah. I had some fan art. Someone sent me some fan art that they drew up, and that's art. That's not a picture. That's like they drew it. It's pretty awesome. And then this is something we had already hanging up, an old picture when I won my title. So I was like, you know what? Let's just throw something else up. I'm tired of the gold.
You went from gaudy grandma house to the art of jiu-jitsu with the Mendez brothers in all white.
See, this is the thing. My house is this way too. Everything in my house is like this. I have all white frames. I've got everything in my house is all white. Like I have all white floors. I've got like my house is all white with, hints of light gray. This is on my gym. On this side of my gym, on my martial arts side, it's very much like the Menez brothers. They have white mats. I have light gray mats, but everything else is white. You've been there.
Yep.
So yeah, no, this is yeah. We've made a couple changes. I'm probably not done messing with it yet, but I wanted to goof around with it a little bit. We're getting closer to 100,000, and I was like, you know what? Let's play with this. Let's start trying to make this like a real studio. So I also have a ton of other fan art, for me that people have done over the years. What's it called? Evan Showman. He drew up some work for me. It's awesome. So I'm gonna get that thing probably framed up, put that behind me as well. He sells the prints or whatever on his site. Exactly. You have it right behind you.
Evan Showman.
So I think it's only
a stud.
Yeah, he's a stud, man. He's a stud. And I actually have an artist right now, John Wayshank, who's doing a piece for us that I've been sending you back and forth. But he's done a bunch of artwork for some big comics and Marvel series and things like that. So he's putting together something for us as well that we can put onto a T-shirt, and I'm gonna post that. I'll make a print for you too to put behind you as well. But I want to get one of us back behind us, so it's pretty dope. So he's very detailed. You've seen some of his work. I sent it to you over. So
yeah, he's good.
Yeah, if you guys, it's pretty awesome. So yeah.
All right, so I'm sorry, Tim Elliott. Off of the interior design.
Yes.
Back to fights.
Let's okay. Were you able to make out what he was saying at the third round? What was going on?
No, I wasn't.
I heard it was very bad.
I have no idea what
they bleeped it out pretty damn well, but I heard I heard some of it. Yeah, oh man, it's brutal. I don't want to get into it because I don't know the whole details and the stories, but not good, man. Not good when you have fighters fighting and talking shit like that. I don't mind the shit talking back and forth, but there was some personal stuff going on in there that
you don't cross
bad. That. Yeah, it's just all bad. Anyways, Tim Elliott, I thought looked phenomenal.
Looked great.
Looked really good. I don't know what to say. Like once he got the fight at the ground, it was done. Like he just slowed his opponent down. Espinosa just had no answer. Had nothing for him off the back. Had no way of getting back up. I mean, the threat was there the whole time. I mean, Tim Elliott wasn't as busy in the third round. The blood. I liked what he was doing though, and even the commentators kind of hinted to it. He had a cut on the top of his head from an elbow. Yeah. He just started rubbing his forehead into his face. Now, give me the rest perspective. That's legal, correct? I know we do it all the time, but you guys constantly tell us, watch the head, but
well, the reason they're saying watch the head is this. They're not telling you, hey, what you're doing is illegal. What they're trying to tell you is, yes, you can steer with your head, you can press with your head. What they don't want you to do, and the reason to say, hey, just watch the head, is they don't want you to gain any space and then that head comes back, because then it's a strike with the head. So they're just telling you, watch the head, just making you aware of exactly. Yeah, I know I'm pushing with it. Just don't bring space and then bring it back in.
Got it. I thought he looked good. I thought he looked dominant. I mean, but he's a guy that has, like they said, he's fought everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you go with him?
That's the real question when you look at someone like him, because he has fights like this where he looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then you can go and, we're going to go into Joe Benavidez and his opponent in Askar. He fought Askar Askarov, and I thought Askar was possibly going to kill Tim during certain points in that fight.
Yeah.
He was taking huge shots, huge takedowns. He made it. I believe he made it through the fight, but man, I'm telling you, huge damage. So it was really, he's that guy.
Yeah.
He went 5 rounds with Demetrius Johnson.
I thought he looked phenomenal against Demetrius. I think didn't he drop Demetrius in there? Like in the exchange, he dropped him and he almost choked him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just trying to recall that. I thought he looked great. I don't know. Can you pull up the rankings? 125. Okay, so here we are. So like if you pull up the rankings, where is he at? He's number 12. I guess him and Kai Kara France. But I mean, you got Brandon Royval. I guess I don't know, man. There's a lot.
I would say, Brandon Royval, that's a good matchup. Royval's got a really good ground game.
Yeah.
Alejandro Pantoja is good, man. it's a matter of all these guys. When you look at them, there's some good names in there. Askarof's obviously going to go up, and he's going to replace Benavidez now. But Perez is right there. Perez has got great stand-up. I think Tim Elliott's ground game is better than Perez's. Perez's stand-up is better than Elliott's. So, but on any given day, you look at a lot of these guys, and they can be interplaced. Each guy can beat the other on the right day.
Yeah, Joe's gonna have to drop down. Let me ask you this on the Joe thing.
Yeah,
done.
I would like to see him be done.
I know,
and again, the reason is it's not that he's done as a fighter.
Yeah,
as far as his ability to win fights, he can still win fights, and I'll give him credit. He made it through that fight. He took a lot of shots, and he didn't have the same effect as when Devinson was landing shots on him. So he looked good that way, but in a lot of ways, when you're watching Joe now, he's old style in a lot of what he does. And he's so open at times, and he wings shots so violently, but he's out of position at times, and he loops things that you can read. And it's like, you either got to progress in what you're doing, or you're never going to be that guy up at the top. And so, okay, why are you fighting? If you're fighting for the paycheck, continue to fight. You're going to be the guy that they're going to use to be that gatekeeper. If you can beat Joe Benavidez, you're going to be in the upper echelon. If you can't beat him, you're going to be, not thought of in that championship mentality and placement. You can be that guy if that's, what you want to do. But I don't think that's what Joe wants to do. He's never been that guy. He's always wanted to be the champ. That's always been what kind of drove him. I don't think it's there. I don't think he's going to get another title shot.
No.
So
I know they like him a lot.
Sure they do.
And I like him a lot. I just don't I agree with you. There's just too much young blood that's coming up that is faster than him, they've aged in terms of they've matured as fighters, and they've gotten better. Whereas, like you said tonight, we were texting back and forth during his fight, and I said, what he reminds me of? He reminds me of an older Frank Shamrock. Frank used to lean forward with his head, throw big shots, head down. Yeah. He looked like he hadn't really progressed at all as a striker.
Near the end of his career. Near the end, when you go and you watch Frank's last fight against Nick Diaz.
Yeah,
Nick is not known for speed.
Mm-mm.
He was faster than Frank. He was landing the shots, and Frank was taking big risks trying to land things at time and out of position, and you look and you go, it was gone. And not that he still couldn't beat people, he could, but is that what you want to do?
Nah,
it's a rough one.
I mean, I don't want to see him fight against these young guys that are coming up. And here's the thing, at that weight class, we've talked about this forever, speed kills, and his is diminishing. And we saw a little bit of that also too with Dom tonight. His speed was kind of there, I was
really impressed with his speed in the beginning.
But yeah, in the beginning. But then as the fight went on, it slowed.
Well, of course
it does, but it doesn't normally slow that much for smaller guys. Not to the level that we saw from Dom a little bit tonight.
They were going at a hell of a pace.
They were. I agree with you,
man.
But with Joe's. He still got the fight in him. You can see there was some. They got in some. They butted heads. They got. He's got no quit. He's got no quit. He still got it. And like you said, but the question is for him: does he want to be a gatekeeper, or do you want to just hey, you did a lot in the sport and move on? It's up to him. I mean, you can still make money. They'll still pay him well because they like him. And it's just that. Do you want to be that guy? Because he speaks well. He's great to be around. He's a good person.
Oh, yes. It's his choice, though.
Yeah, that's true. I thought Askarov looked good. I didn't know he was, 80% deaf or something like that.
Yeah.
They were talking about. And, but Rogan brought up a good point. He said, it kind of heightens your senses when you have one sense that is not functioning properly. So, if you, if you can't see,
you'll hear people hear much more.
You hear a lot better. So if you can't hear, then you can see a lot better, or whatever it is, it's probably taste a lot better. I don't know, but it's got to be some sort of advantage, but with the disadvantage, obviously.
Come on. Yeah, this is a year. We're going to try to make it's an advantage. It's not an advantage.
Yes, it is.
Okay. No, it's not.
John, how would you know? You're not deaf.
No, but I know people that are dumb and I work with them.
Fucking Dave, he's talking shit about you.
Can you
Podcast
believe
Dave.
that, Dave? No.
Yeah.
But seriously, to sit there, we always do that. It's like, oh, this guy has one leg. Yeah, but that prosthetic that he has, man, it's got this flexible fiber. It's like,
it's great.
It's not an advantage.
Yes, it is. You can't convince me otherwise. You're not deaf, so you can't tell me that. You don't know. You don't really know for an advantage.
If you remember, go back to there was a wrestler out of Arizona State.
Yep.
And
Robles.
Exactly. We had one leg.
Anthony, right? I believe it was Anthony Robles.
Anthony Robles, exactly. And he ended up winning the NC2A championship at 125 pounds.
It's an advantage.
Right?
He had one leg. Yeah. He had one leg. It was an advantage.
Yeah, it's an advantage. Well, in no way is it an advantage, but it is if you take and break things down of, yes, he's a bigger individual body, configuration up top than all of his opponents. He's physically stronger with his upper body than most of his opponents. But the real advantage is in the fact that his opponents never got to wrestle against someone with one leg, while he was always used to wrestling someone with two legs.
Yeah.
And so he knew what he could do, and they always had problems because they would shoot for something and there's nothing there. And so there are, I understand when you say, can there be an advantage to it? Yeah, there can kind of be an advantage to things.
100% it's an advantage.
100% advantage by Josh Thompson.
Yes.
We're going to write a book.
There was a guy.
Josh Thompson's 100% advantages.
There was a guy that wrestled one night teens when I was wrestling at North Idaho College. His name was Cosmo. I can't remember his last name. Anyways, he had no legs, and so he'd go out there and he was so good because people couldn't shoot on him. So you had to wrestle him kind of on your knees. You had to wrestle the way he wrestled. Otherwise, and he was physically stronger than everybody else when it came to grip strength and body strength and riding strength, because how are you going to get him down? You had to try to get on the front headlock. Well, he sees that every single day because that's how everybody wrestles him.
And his neck is stronger than an oak.
He sees the same. People try to attack him the same way. And he knows that. There's only a couple ways you can attack me because I have no legs. And so he learned to wrestle these guys. Everyone's going to wrestle him the same way. No one ever had wrestled someone without legs. And so they didn't know how he was going to wrestle them. They didn't realize how damn strong he was going to be. They didn't realize how good of wrist control he had. They didn't realize how damn strong his neck was either. They can't head snap him. There was nowhere for him to go. You head snap him and his elbows and hands were already on the mat. Like, where are you going to go? Yep. And so if you ever tried to shoot behind him, he didn't have to sprawl. If you ever tried to shoot on his legs, and if he did, he just circled behind you and got to your back and tilted you and wrist controlled you and turned you and just jacked you up. And so, like I said, back to the original comment, it's an advantage. No, I didn't say it was an advantage in life. I just said it was an advantage in the situation in which he was.
So every Paralympic athlete has an advantage over
sometimes
regular Olympic athletes.
No, not every. Not every.
Okay, all right.
But not listening to your corner sometimes can be an advantage. Depends how your corner is. You know what I mean? The ones that slam the canvas on the side, and the apron and just start yelling. The cheerleaders? The cheerleaders probably to the advantage. You know who was very impressive to me tonight? Kyler Phillips. Absolutely impressive. So good. He fought the best game plan. When we talk about fight IQ, tonight was a fight IQ moment for him. He just showed there was nothing that Yadong Song could do to get him out of what his game plan was. He fought composed. He was on target with all this stuff. He mixed it up so well. Like anytime Yadong Song thought he was going to stand and bang, he would shoot a takedown. And anytime that he had him in the clinch or anytime, he did such a phenomenal job of circling out, making sure he stayed covered on the way out. He fought an absolutely amazing fight. If I was going to give an award tonight for the best fight fought, it would be him.
I would probably agree with you. He was exceptional. And when you were talking about when he would get into clinch situations, and it's Song Yadong, just so you know.
Oh, sorry.
I know what
it's
it
on the
looks like.
thing is, yeah.
Yeah, it's Song Yadong. But the clinch situations, the way that he exited on those situations and the things that he threw at times was phenomenal.
Yeah.
He was landing just incredible. You know, the kick that he threw off, the spinning kick, all of them, man. You look and you go, very, very innovative in the way he did things, very solid in the way he did things. You know, and you got to give it to Song Yadong. He's a stud, dude.
Bro,
he can take
kicks.
shots, man. Oh,
he took that
man,
head kick.
He took that head kick like it was nothing. And that one was actually the shin.
Yeah.
You know, that one hurt. That one was solid. Yeah, it looks like it skims off the top. That's only because it's not rolling through your head. It's going to bounce up. But go back and watch Junior Dos Santos and Mark Hunt. Same exact action off of the head.
That was with the calf. He hit him with the calf across the top of the head. Like this was shin to the
bone.
Dome.
Oh, I know.
I was like, oh my God. He didn't even bother him.
Reminded me of Quentin Jackson. I saw when Quentin Jackson fought Marvin Eastman. That's what I saw twice, and I said, "Who the hell is that dude?"
Yeah, it didn't even bother him. He just walked right through it, and then he got kicked in the head later in the fight too. It was more with the foot though, and it didn't bother him at all. I'm like, God, like, what are you doing? If you can take shit like that, just go forward and just throw and throw and throw. Why even bother? Like, if I can take a full on head kick, shin to the dome, just walk through everything. Okay, so there's a lot to talk about on this next fight. Dominick Cruz and Casey Kenny. Let's point out the obvious. Big John McCarthy was wrong. Okay?
I picked Casey Kenny to win that fight. I did.
The rest of it, let's talk about the next fight. Let's move on. Okay, because that's all we had to talk about. Big John McCarthy was all you
wrong.
That's it.
I'm wrong. I'm wrong all the time. But,
what do you think?
Okay. You know what? I was really impressed with Dominic coming off a long layoffs is just amazing that he can do the things he was doing. But I will go back and look at Casey Kenny and say, man, so many opportunities, so many things that are there for you. You know, Dominic has a rhythm and you can see what he does. And someone's going to point out, you know, exactly what he does. Because anytime he throws a right hand, his head's dipping to the left. Well, that's the tells that you look at that you go, I can take advantage of this. You know, he throws that, I'm going to throw this. I'm going to do this. So I didn't see that Casey Kenny really picked up on it much. He did more of backing out than countering it. So Casey Kenny, you know, I just looked and I said, you lost based upon fight IQ. Dominick Cruz fight IQ is higher than yours, better than yours right now. Not that yours is not going to improve, but it was his fight IQ that got him the win. And the fact that he was smart enough after failing on multiple takedowns. And in fact, the people I was sitting watching the fights with, you know, they're saying, why is he trying to take him down? He's not even getting close. I said, doesn't matter. He's making him think about it. That's a smart move by Dominic. And he did. And then he made it happen once he got him tired. And really the takedowns were, it wasn't so much just the takedown. It was some of the action that he got off of the takedowns.
Yeah.
You know, he did some damage there with some of it. And that was the difference maker. I had Dominic winning 29-28.
Yeah, me too.
I think two of the judges had that. One of them had 30-27. That judge is not looking around right, but really impressive performance.
Yeah, everything that I said that would happen happened. You know, Dom dominated the fight and just.
Oh, you're so crap.
No, it really just came down to I was concerned like you were concerned that Dom had slowed down, and we'd seen him slow down. He looked fast as normal in the first round and halfway through the first round. Then you could tell he started slowing down. He started catching a couple of shots. The inside leg kick started having a problem. Saw him at the post presser as well. He was limping to get up on the stage. Little things like that let you know that the leg kicks are there to be had on him. And like you said, fighters need to, after all these years, not one person has broken down the fact that, like, when he throws the right hand, he dips to the left. When he does this, he does that. Like, even if you don't know, just throw something blindly in that direction. Like, throw the knee up the middle. There's a lot of times he dips straight down when he throws things. It's like, and I know he dips this way and dips that way. He changes his footwork. You're mesmerized by all that stuff. And look, it's obviously easier said than done.
Oh,
but in your mind, before that fight, you got to go in there thinking, okay, look, normally when he takes people down, he kind of just lets them back up. We saw that tonight. He took Casey Kenny down, and then he just kind of let him back up once or twice. He's like, okay. I think he caught the leg or something like that, and Casey Kenny fell down. He kind of like just let him up.
It just spun out. But it was when he went for the takedown and got it, he tried to keep it. Which is actually unusual.
Yes.
With Dominic, because most of the time he does exactly what you say. He'll take you down. He may try to land something, and he gets right back up.
Yeah, he'll wait. Like if you start to look like you're getting an advantage, he'll just let you up versus trying to like hold you down.
Yep.
And so during that like tonight, once he did get the takedown, he was able to control and dominate the top position, and he had him at the right time. I think that's really what made the difference. He needed the takedowns, he got them at the right time.
Yep.
I thought the second round was close. I had Dom.
He was losing it.
Yeah.
He was losing it.
Yeah. So
and he got that takedown and rode him in little shots, but it's offense compared to no offense.
Yeah.
And that in the end just override and gave him the round.
Yeah. Overall, good fight by Dom, but Casey Kenny, like you said, just needs to work on his fight IQ. You know? Yeah. And I had said that, like, fighting someone like Dom, you think, like, oh, he's getting older. You come in, the little, like I said, ego, come in. I got this. He's not the same guy. And you don't realize till you're in there with someone who has a fight IQ like Dominick Cruz, and the way he moves and the things he does and the angles things come from and how he can make adjustments, between rounds and how he can make adjustments mid-round. And so those are all things that young fighters have to learn to understand, that the guys like Dom have been in there for so many years and been champion and fight at the highest level. Like, all those things being said, like, it's easier just to say it, but guess what? Now that you're in there with them, you have to live it. And that's different. That's a lot different. But I guess the whole thing tonight, really surrounded by this thing, was I didn't have Casey Kenny winning the fight. I had Dom winning the fight. And one of the judges gave it to Casey Kenny. And so I was just throwing that out there. But the thing surrounding Dominick Cruz tonight was his post interview.
Yeah. He kind of put it out there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. But it kind of threw me off a little bit because he brought up a guy named Hans Molenkamp who runs the sponsorship for Monster. He runs the sponsorship for Monster. He does it for UFC, I believe. And then he does it for Bellator. And he does it for a bunch of other things as well. It threw me off, though, in the post-press conference. Like, in the press conference, he says, I have no problem with him. It's just that he tries to take advantage of me. I mean,
well, so if he's trying to take advantage of him and he says he has no problem with him, one of those is not true. Let's just be honest.
Look, we know Hans.
Yeah. Really well.
I don't know, John. I mean, I get where Dom's coming from, but is it more like a shtick that Hans is doing, or is it?
Yeah.
Does he feel betrayed? Do you think Dom feels betrayed, or is it more like Hans is this is like kind of a Hans shtick though that he does? Like, he likes to goof around with the fighters at their camps, and I know he works for Monster. I know all these things.
He's always training with guys, and what someone is doing. In some ways, in their mind, what it means, and in somebody else's mind, what it means, can be two different things. Yeah. I would say this. Do I think that Hans Molenkamp is a bad guy for, asking guys to, comment on his Instagram or thing? No, I don't think he's a bad guy for that. If he's holding up a sponsorship and the fact that you could lose that sponsorship based upon your response, that's wrong. I'm not saying that's what's happening, but that's what's being insinuated. And if that's what's happening, it's wrong. So I look and say, yes, Hans puts a lot of stuff up with him training with guys, training with Conor, training with John Jones, training with a lot of guys. Hans has got, a black belt from Dean Lister in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And Dean does these little, quick tutorials on how to do something, and Hans is always screwing with Dean, and he'll put those out, all the blooper ones and stuff. It's funny. Hans has started a lot of companies. He's done a lot of good stuff. He's a good guy. But if in any fashion, and I don't know that it's true, but if in any fashion he is holding up someone's sponsorship over their head by saying, you either do this for me or this is going to go away, no, it's bullshit. You don't do that. The sponsorship is based upon that company, Monster, and that fighter's ability to represent the company the way they want to be represented, and to, they get paid a certain amount based upon their value. And in no way should Hans have something over them because of it.
Well, I saw Dom wearing the Monster tonight, so things must be okay. Like, he had it on his sleeve of his shirt, so it must be okay. It can't be that bad. I guess I don't know
what he's doing. No matter. Let's break this down. Let's be honest about it. When you go on national TV, because he's on ESPN, all right, that wasn't part of a pay-per-view.
Yeah,
he goes on national TV during an interview and calls you out. Says, hey, you know what? I want to do a celebrity charity, fight. I'm 100 pounds less than you. And you say you're a pro fighter. So then let's do this for charity. Let's decide what this goes to. And, if you're really a fighter, you'll step up and do this. What is he doing?
Trying to embarrass him?
Let's be honest.
Trying to get his job taken, maybe? I mean, because if that's true, because some of the comments in the presser was that he's holding, like he said, he's holding some fighters hostages and with their contracts, and I have to take pictures. I mean, that's, like I said, like, I don't know if it's true. We've seen some, like, look, we've seen Chael on the back of a motorcycle with him. So
yeah. I made a nice shirt out of that one.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, Chael, why would you ever? Like, what's going on?
And what was Chael's response?
Well, because he pays me, he pays me. Okay. So right. I get it. I mean, I understand, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like there's a better way to do this. There is a better way to do it, but I like the idea of a fight, a charity fight. I like that idea.
That's the charity fight is great, but let's be honest. And I'm going to tell you, just based upon personal knowledge, if you take X-rays of Hans Mullenkamp's body, it's way worse than Dominick Cruz.
Yeah,
he's had multiple neck surgeries. He's got bad shoulders. He's had shoulder surgeries. He's got knees. He's a mess. His back has been fused and stuff. He's a mess.
Yeah,
I don't even think they would let him fight.
Well, let's just be honest. If you guys go to his Instagram, you guys can see he spends a lot of his time on Instagram kicking still poles.
Yeah, he'll kick steel poles or bats.
Yeah, and he
likes breaking bats.
Yeah, and you wonder why he's all banged up. I mean, he's probably pushing. How old is he? He's got to be pushing 50.
Yeah,
somewhere around there, right? I'm like, you get to a point where you start kicking like still poles and trying to break bats with your shins, and I'm thinking to myself, not really something I'd want to do, like at 50 years old. Like, I'd hate bending down to tie my shoes these days. I just slip them on and off, let alone kicking shit that may hurt me. So, I mean, look, I guess we're going to see what happens and if Hans has a response in the next couple of days and what the buzz will be about. But
yeah, maybe.
It's a shit situation, I think, for both sides when it starts coming out public like this.
Well, Dom's the one that brought it public.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so Thiago Santos and Rakic.
That's so disappointed. I thought it was going to be a really good. I didn't pick anybody to win. I thought they both could win the fight. I thought Santos had the advantage.
You picked Rakic. You picked Rakic.
Yeah, and then I thought Rakic had the advantage if it went deeper into the fight. I thought Rakic had the advantage, but he fought a lot more conservative than I thought he would.
Yeah,
he really was conservative in the fight, and in watching him in his previous fights, he's gotten this. He starts to really put pressure on guys and break them down. Didn't do that so much with Santos, which shows me he had a lot of respect for what Santos can do, respect for his power. But I thought he had Santos many times.
Yeah,
off balance, in bad positions, landed a couple times when he had him in those things, but could have opened up a lot more. So I just will say it was not his best performance as far as I thought he didn't take the chances that he could have to have made the fight a better fight, better performance, and actually finish the fight.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. I felt like Santos he was afraid to take chances. And that's what kind of cost him. He was waiting for the fight to come to him, and it wasn't happening. And Rakic just was like, I'm touching you, and I'm winning. I'm barely winning the rounds, but I'm winning.
But you're winning.
He's like, because I know I have more output, and my shots are landing more frequently than yours. So I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing until you're willing to take a chance. And there was never a chance.
Never really to take the chance.
Never took the chance. So there was no reason for Rakic to really get outside of his comfort zone. And he stole the decision, easy fight for him. Realistically, but if I'm Dana White, what are you saying? What the fuck? You guys open the pay-per-view and this is what I fucking get?
I know, because I honestly thought that was a You know what? That's going to be a good fight. That's a good start of your pay-per-view. I can understand why they decided to put that there.
Yeah. I thought it was gonna be a good fight too. All right, well, let's get down to my boy. Just absolutely, no, come on, this guy. Islam Makhachev. Let's talk. What do you think?
I thought, well, it was the same thing of why I said if you were going to bet on it, and at the time, he was minus 330.
Yeah, 335 or 350.
I think he ended up at minus 440, which tells you a lot of people took my suggestion and started putting money on Islam.
Geez, here we go.
Well,
oh, geez, here we go.
I thought, I really looked at, and Drew Dober has gotten so much better.
Yeah.
But even in the stand-up, I would say their stand-up is close to equal. And I knew that on the ground there was just a big difference. And I will tell you, Drew Dober looks so much better with his defense on the ground than I've seen in the past. He's gotten way better. Elliot Marshall's doing a great job with him. He actually was keeping himself safe. He got, when he got mounted, he got back into a half guard position, did a lot of good things. It was just, there's just too much of a skill level. One guy being offensive the entire time, one guy only being defensive, nothing else he could do. I thought the armbar attempt at one point was good. And then, once his head slipped out and they're saying, oh, it's still dangerous here. No, it wasn't. Okay.
It was when he got stacked back up and threw the leg over the head.
Yep. Yeah. When he had that moment that started off, it was dangerous. It got to a moment when he lost the head. It was no longer dangerous in that position. He didn't have control of him, and then tried to stack it back, went over with the leg and ended up, rolling out. So there was a sequence of dangerous, not dangerous, dangerous, but really nice attempt by Islam.
I like how he attacked it in the transition. Yes. He got right to that position and attacked, gave up the position to attack the armbar, and it was in tight when he went belly down. Then he went to roll him through and he lost the head. So instead, though, all he had to do was shift his hips out to the right and then throw the leg back over the head. He could have got it if he was still on his back. He wasn't able to do that, and Drew Dober stacked him up. When he did that, he was able to throw his leg over the head there, and the time kind of ended. They got in a little scramble there at the end. But,
a little bit. Drew ends up on top.
Yeah.
It was the exact performance I expected out of his. I know you said, it was okay. I mean, he fought smart. He fought composed. He was dominant throughout it. I don't know. You want to talk about 10-8 rounds? There was 10-8 rounds given in the championship fight. Mm-hmm. Stupid.
Yeah.
There was no 10-8 round. But if you want to talk about what a 10-8 round is, Drew Dober against Islam Makhachev, those last two rounds you could put as a 10-8 round based upon that's domination on the ground. Then there was duration of that domination, which tells you, if you're saying, I didn't really see damage, I say, okay, was there a duration of that domination? There was no offense by Drew. He couldn't have offense.
Yeah.
So he was getting taken down, 20 seconds into the round. The third round, I think it got taken down right about 440.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a 10-8 round, and that was just a dominant performance by Islam.
Well, I mean, everyone knows I'm an Islam fan, so teammates, all these things. But the bottom line comes down to this. I was not impressed by his performance. And I'm just being, the reason why I'm being critical is because I know he's so much better. And what you guys have not seen is that he's way better than what you saw. Tonight I saw a stiff Islam. Don't get me wrong. He dominated the fight.
Him out with shoulder pressure.
Yeah. Because but we talked about this all.
He tapped him out with shoulder pressure.
John, calm down. Okay.
How many people have you, I'm just wanting to know at top level, how many people have you seen tap out their opponent with shoulder pressure?
Doesn't what's his name get it all the time? St. Pierre, or not St. Pierre. Ovid St. Preux. Doesn't he get that move all the time?
No, he gets an Von Flue choke.
That's not what he did. Was very similar to. It was very similar.
It is not similar because there's no arm on the other side to help with the choke.
It was very similar. John, look. Like I said,
your man ended a fight in the UFC with shoulder pressure.
Because I had said this forever now, that he is physically so strong. And that people don't get it. Like they think they understand, and they won't get it until they get in there. And if you guys want to just DM Drew Dober, ask him how damn strong he is. Like I said, guys like Deron Wynn, who are just little muscle balls. And they're 5'6" and just strong as all hell and super
and national
explosive.
Level wrestler.
Like we're talking number 2 or 3 on the Olympic ladder. Just so damn good. This guy, he's like, this is physically the strongest guy I've ever wrestled with ever. And I'm like, this guy fights at 155. And it's not fair. It really isn't. But what I was trying to say is, he's 5'11", probably pushing close to 6 foot is Islam is. And when you get in there with him, and for him to make the transition they did to the arm bar, that's the type of jiu-jitsu that I'm talking about. People are like, oh, there's no way he's that good on the ground. No, he's really damn good. Like his jiu-jitsu to me is better than his stand-up. And I'm not talking just wrestling. Okay, his wrestling, you guys will see, is way better than what you guys saw tonight. He made it look easy, and that's what it is. It's super easy to him. He caught the leg, took him down, foot trip. Then he gets in, he couldn't get it the second time.
Oh, come on. That inside trip. Beautiful.
He hits it all the time.
Henry Cejudo had the greatest inside trip of anyone I saw until I just watched. That inside trip was beautifully done.
It's just so effortless. That's the thing. And anytime you feel like you're comfortable, and I've been saying this forever. Like I said, when you compare the two between him and Khabib is the double leg, the single leg to the double leg, the takedown, the lift, the slam. He is snatch the leg, lift it, foot trip you, foot sweep you. Like he just does. It's crazy. And but what I was talking about to begin this whole conversation, what you saw tonight was not the best Islam. It wasn't even a fraction of how good he is. And that's the thing. That's what's scary. People don't get. And I think he got past Drew Dober. Good for him to get back on track. He hasn't fought since 2019, and he's had ups and downs in his life. We know with family being lost, close, his coach being lost, everything, all of those things being said. But every fight he fights from now on will just build his confidence more and more and more. I saw someone very hesitant tonight on the feet, and he's better than that on the feet. And I saw someone as soon as he got to the clinch. What?
Yeah, but if you're Islam and you're looking and saying, where am I going to be hesitant with Drew Dober? It would be on the feet. No, so I'm gonna be safe there because this is the only place this guy can beat me.
Yeah, possibly. But John, he's very good on the feet. That's the thing. Like he's so that's what I said. We always saw tonight was a fraction, but it was a dominant fraction. So I mean, I just want people to understand what you saw tonight. You're going to see something a lot better. And the control, sure, we know it's there. We see it all the time with Khabib. They're very similar in that control aspect of it all. The submission attempts are more, they come more often by Islam than they would say someone like Khabib. But I'm just saying there's more room for growth. And I think every fight he's going to get a little bit more comfortable in that cage. And you're going to start seeing him just be like, it's going to start to come so easy for him. So, but overall, obviously, I'm very happy for him. He got a great win, and on to the next one, man. On to the next one. Let's get into the bad. I don't even know what you would call it.
I don't know. What do you call it?
What do you call it? What do you think?
Bad ending.
Yeah, just a bad fight. Like it was a great fight.
It was a great fight.
It was just a bad situation to be in. But I want to talk about the reffing.
Why?
Do you think it's there's a couple things. I want to talk about commentators understanding that there is no fans. And we need to, you and I both, we need to do the same thing. We have to remember this. And I have to remember this because I sometimes just blurt out shit. Is that we have to understand that there's no fans. And when we speak loudly at the events, the judges, the refs, the fighters can hear us like crystal clear. And so when the ref decides to tell the doctor a foot away that like I told him not to do it, it would be a DQ or whatever.
First off, that was the referee's first mistake.
Yeah, it was horrible.
You never do that.
And if Aljamain heard that,
exactly,
he just sat up and then all of a sudden went to like, oh man, I'm knocked out. Like, look, I get why you did it. But it got to the point where, like, TJ Dillashaw even posted a tweet about it, basically saying, you know, the Oscar goes to. I mean, it was bad. It was bad. I mean, the fight was a great fight up until then, and I'm not saying that Aljo should have got up and fought right away. I'm saying he should have got up. We know he would have recovered from that.
All right,
it's a shit situation to be in, though, John, as a fighter.
Yeah, but here's your breakdown. This is what happens. And this is where when Mark Smith, who is the referee, he sees Aljo is down, his knees down, and he puts his hand down. You go back and start to watch it.
No, I saw it.
Puts his hand on the ground, and Mark Smith calls out, he's a grounded fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is the problem with fighting and fighters and the understanding of rules, because Petr Yan believes that if your hand's down, you're down. And as soon as you pull your hand up, what does he think? You're
not down anymore.
Bingo.
Why am I always answering the trivia questions? Okay, stop doing that.
Because you know what? Because I got to put you on the spot somewhere.
Go ahead.
But that's exactly what occurred. And even his corner thought that. Now, they're totally wrong. Aljo was a down fighter the entire time. And when his hand comes up, he's still a down fighter because his right knee is on the ground completely. So is the knee thrown illegally? Yes. Was it intentional to be an illegal knee? That's the question you have to decide if you're the referee. Now, Mark is saying that, hey, I told him that he was a grounded fighter, but Mark needs to go back and look when he said it. That was when Aljo put his hand down. And then Aljo picks his hand up. And then there's a little bit of time delay and he's kind of pushing on his head. And then Peter brings the knee because Petr Yan is thinking, oh, he's up now. I can throw it. His hand's off the ground. It's a mistake. It's wrong. But that's, I believe, what he thought. And you look and you go, for Mark Smith, I'm going to give you a little bit of class here. Hey, bud, you have been performing really well. Tonight, yeah, there's things that happen. But when you are in the position as a referee, we do not tell doctors anything about what I believe was intentional or accidental. It's none of their business. I keep that to myself because I get all of my information before I ever put anything out about what I'm going to do, because things can change. So when the doctor comes in as the referee, you say, hey, doc, he got hit by an illegal knee. It hit him to the head. Check him, see if he can continue. If he can't, let me know. There you go. Doctor's going to make his decision. All right. There's nothing about, oh, it was intentional, I'm going to DQ. That never comes out of your mouth, ever, because there's too many people out there that can get the information. And now you have taken and you have basically put yourself in a corner. Now, as soon as Aljo goes, oh, I'm dizzy, I can't go. Yeah, guess what? You have just created your situation. I'm just telling you, and what Mark Smith did as far as the DQ itself, he fully within his right to call that. Fully within his right to call that. He has that right. He can say, I think that was intentional. It was illegal. It has made this fighter so he can't continue. You are disqualified. He can do that. But when you're looking at this fight, a championship fight, a fight that Petr Yan is winning.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're kind of looking at it and being honest about what you're seeing inside of the cage, it's close. So, but I can say, I think Petr Yan's winning, but I can sit there and say, all right, it's illegal. He can't go on. I'm taking points from Petr Yan. Judges, I want you to judge what portion of the fourth round you saw, and we're going to go to the judges' scorecards. It would have ended up probably being a majority draw. Okay? And that means Petr Yan keeps his title, but he doesn't get a win. Aljo doesn't get a win or a loss. Petr doesn't get a win or a loss, and they can put him back and do it again. Now, they can put him back and do it again off of this, and they will. But to have a title change on that, when I honestly believe Petr Yan looks at that, and when he sees the hand come off, he thinks that he can throw the knee. It's just not knowing the rules.
I was listening to a little bit of the commentary during the fight when it happened, and he was saying that DC was saying that Khabib had said that his corner had told him to knee, like as soon as the hand had lifted off the ground.
Yeah.
He's like, his corner had yelled at him, knee. So maybe there was a miscommunication there, as well as I don't know how well Petr Yan speaks English. And so,
not well.
Yeah, so the conversation should be like, when the ref says it, he's down fighter, like he's thinking, like you said, the hand was down, then the hand came up, and his corner's yelling knee, they knee. So there's got to be maybe something lost in translation there. Do I think he did it on purpose? No. He's not a dirty fighter. He's a very good fighter, but he's not a dirty fighter.
Come on, look at those. We talked about the foot sweeps that he utilizes and keeping someone off balance. Man, I give Aljo credit. He was working his ass off in that fight, trying to put pressure, going after him. But let's be honest, he's not going to want that rematch.
He's not going to have a choice.
I know.
He's not going to have a choice. I mean, he was getting handled. After the first round, he started getting handled. He was getting pieced up. He's getting touched. He's getting taken down, and he got dumped on his head. Remember how Magomedov took down his opponent? And I was like, oh, God. Mm-hmm. Like, this one wasn't as bad as that one, but it was very close. It just was funny because the two of them had fought before, twice, and I was just thinking to myself, now, the same type of takedown. Very impressive. But Petr Yan, I looked at it a couple ways in terms of the ref saying that to the doctor within a foot of him while he's laying on the ground. Like, at least do it outside the cage. I didn't even know he shouldn't tell a doctor, but you told me.
Josh, are there levels to fighting?
Yes.
There's levels to officiating.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
And until you live in that world and you end up having to make these decisions and you figure things out, what you don't know until all of a sudden now you know.
Yeah.
And it can bite you.
Well, I was going to talk too about the commentary though. It's like, you got to be careful because Aljo, excuse me.
Oh,
sorry.
Are we tired?
Yes. Yeah. Aljo, you're going
to be a drinking game. No. Every time Josh yawns, you got to take a shot.
It's horrible. The thing is with the commentary, like, I understood what Joe was saying and what DC were saying. You can't let him fight if he is really hurt.
No,
he's
that's
really
true.
Hurt. Like, don't let him fight. You got to stop this fight.
I'm being honest. He took a solid.
Yes, he did.
Okay, he did. But again, you can watch a fighter, and I'm going to get eaten up by people, and especially Ray Longo. I've seen Aljamain take some big shots. He's a tough dude.
Yeah,
he'll fight back. And when you look at that knee, and then you look at his initial response, and then look at what occurred, you go, I'm not sure that it was affecting him as much as it was coming out. But once he hears that, hey, I'm going to get a win here.
Yep.
That's money.
It's a lot of money.
I'm not saying he made a bad decision.
No.
It's called business, and you got to make a business decision. And if that's what occurred, hey, I don't blame him. If he was really hurt, hey, I don't blame him.
But was he really hurt, John? Was he? John, let's be honest. When guys get knocked out,
was he really hurt? No. Yeah. When guys get knocked out,
they don't.
And then all of a sudden they're back. Do they act like that?
No. No,
they don't. And that's what tells you, there was some extra into it. And I'm going to go all this. It worked against a guy that used to be his teammate. You know, Chris Weidman, when he fought Gegard Mousasi, go back and look at that. What happened? Because Chris wasn't that hurt, but his corner was saying, "Oh, you're hurt. Stay down." Mm-hmm. Not good information. It didn't work for him in that one. It worked for Aljamain here, but I just look at it from, I've seen thousands of knockouts, and I've seen guys really knocked out bad. And then I see them when they get up, and I see what they do, and I'm pretty good at reading body language off of it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've been knocked out twice in my career, out of 40-something fights. And never did I get up doing that. And I've seen
Aljo knocked out. Yeah. And I've seen him get up. And he didn't do that.
I've seen hundreds of people get knocked out in the gym, and none of them ever got up acting like that. And so that's when like it's frustrating. Do I think it was a good decision on his part? Yes.
Hey. Yeah, there you go.
Money wise, yes.
Yep.
Because here's the thing, and we've talked about this when we talked about
that fight was getting away from him.
Yeah, he was getting away from him, and I think he kind of knew it. The other thing as well is that, look, if I win the title, my next fight will be probably against Petr Yan. But now I get title money because I'm the champion, which means I get pay-per-view dollars, which means I get the bonus in not just pay-per-view dollars, but I also get a bonus in my pay. I get championship money, and like I had said when we had talked about what was it? The two heavyweights last week. Rosenstruck and Gone. And remember we talked about, you guys are right there for the next title shot at heavyweight division, right there in that mix. This is life-changing money. And so when I say that, this applies to Aljo too. Like, he made the right business choice.
Oh yeah.
It's just a bad look. Yeah. It's just a bad look. And so it's one of those things where, what do you do? Let's see. Why are we even reading this knucklehead shit?
It came up in his feed.
Oh, geez. Stephen A. Smith has a lot to say about Aljo's performance. This one, man.
Well,
should you lose the title in a DQ? That was illegal. He said.
Yeah. Look at, here's the problem. It's, if you lose the fight, you lose the title. Yeah. That's just the way it is.
Well, I think business decision wise, well played, my man. But
there you go.
But the other way, it's just a bad look. It's a bad look. I think just people are going to go like, I remember that guy. I don't know if I really want to tune in to watch him fight next time because of that. That's what's going to happen.
I don't know. But yeah, he was fighting his ass.
He was fighting. He fought very smart in the first fight, in the first round. But then he started getting tired. His output was too much. He wasn't able to keep it going. He wasn't able to get the takedowns like he thought he was going to be able to do. And we had talked about this. I said, Petr Yan, if he does get taken down, he will get up.
Yep.
And when he does get up, he's going to pressure you forward after you just wasted all the energy trying to get the takedown. He did everything that I thought he was going to do. And I said he was going to do. He did exactly that. And I said that Aljo is not as good a wrestler as Magomedov. And it proved it tonight. He is not as good a wrestler as Magomedov. And so in this whole fight and this whole thing, it started to get away from him. Having to use that explosiveness and have the output to keep Petr Yan away from you, he didn't have it. He didn't have the conditioning to go 5 rounds. And that's not on his, I don't want to say it's not his fault. It's just, this is the first time he's had to go into those deep waters.
Yeah.
And so now he'll know. I think he'll come a little bit more better prepared next time. It's something to build on. But like I said, overall, it's a bad look. It's a bad look in terms of how you win the title. Yeah. It is what it is. Hey, show me the money. But he's going to get paid next time. That's for sure. He's going to get paid. I wonder how soon they're going to do the rematch, though.
It's not going to be, well, let's
September.
See. There'll be a medical suspension.
Yeah.
Based upon Aljamain's injury. So
if I was Aljo, I'd take the whole 120 or 190 days.
Absolutely.
See you next year, buddy.
Yeah. Well, that doctor told me I had to stay away for 120 days.
Yep. I haven't been in the gym at all.
Can't even be in the gym.
I need 12 more weeks to get ready.
That's it.
Next fight.
Our man.
Oh man. Podcast day. Well,
all right. Amanda Nunes and I'm not even Megan Anderson. Exactly what I said.
It's Megan, by the way.
Megan.
Okay, I want to say this.
Sorry.
Some sucker podcast Dave talked him into putting money down on Megan Anderson. Jeez,
you owe that guy money.
What a jerk, man. What a jerk. Oh,
I told him it was the best. It was
Yeah.
the best money he ever spent.
Oh man. I was trying to find ways for Megan Anderson to win. You know, it just wasn't gonna happen.
No. I said there's nowhere she's a better fighter.
Yeah.
And it's not even close. And I'm not saying that to be an asshole to Megan Anderson. I've watched her. She's, you know, a good fighter. It's just that she's fighting someone that's on a different level. You know, it's, you know, you look at, yes, she's taller. That she's got that going for her, I guess. But she's not faster.
Yeah.
She doesn't hit harder. You know, they're trying to make it like, you know, and it's the UFC's job to build this up and to make her look like she's this powerhouse. She's not.
Yeah.
She's not a powerhouse. Amanda is a powerhouse. Amanda's got pop. Amanda's got speed. Amanda can fight in the stand-up. Amanda can fight on the ground. You just look and you go, this is not the fight. But they had to make it, so okay.
Well, we've been saying for the longest time that they're going to get rid of the division. I think after this fight, we had said like after this fight, and then DC and Rogan and everyone else had talked about like there's no one else for her to fight. So I can't imagine them keeping that division around. There's not even a ranking system for it. Like they have rankings for everything else. They don't have rankings for that division. And she's the champ in that division.
You can't rank a division that's got like 3 people in it.
Why not? I mean, they have 2 people that fought tonight that were ranked both tied for 8th.
I'm being
How
honest.
is that possible?
Hold on. Name me the featherweight fighters in the UFC women's division. All right, Amanda Nunes,
Felicia Spencer,
bing. There's 2.
Megan Anderson,
3.
Holly Holmes.
She's
fought there.
She's a 135er.
Doesn't matter. She's fought there. We got to put her in there. Okay. I'm sorry. You can't
okay,
take it back.
okay.
No take backs. No
Okay.
take backs.
But she doesn't fight there.
Jermaine Duranami.
She doesn't fight there
She was
either.
the champ there.
Her fight
She was the
against
champ there.
Amanda.
She was the champ there. You
I
cannot
didn't
take
say
them
she
back.
wasn't. She's not fighting there.
That's how I would put her there, though. I'd put her there.
You can't put her
Why
there.
can't
That's
you
like,
put it? Why can't you
Oh
put
my
Amanda?
God.
Why you have
Are
Amanda
you
Nunes
kidding
in
me?
2? You have Amanda Nunes in 2 spots. Why can't you have her in both
because somebody
spots?
fought in a division one time, that makes them that division when they're now fighting in
She
another
was the
division.
champ there. She
So
was
hold
the
it.
champ.
Is Aldo a 145er?
Not
Is
anymore?
Frankie Edgar a 145er?
Not anymore.
Shouldn't he be ranked there?
No, they're not there now fighting.
Exactly. Neither is Holly Holmes or Jermaine
They go up
Demandamy.
and down. They've went up and down.
Oh no.
You don't know this.
No. Oh my God.
They go up and down.
Remove.
I'm sorry, but Jermaine will probably go back up. For a fight with Amanda Nunes, she would probably go
They
back
have
up.
4 fighters
I'm not
4
saying
fighters
they don't have
in
more
the
than
featherweight
4.
division. That's it.
Who
4.
cares?
That's the whole point. That's why it's just not. There's nothing to rank.
I understand what you're saying. Why'd they rank 2 guys tonight? Kai Kara France and the other guy was they were both ranked number 8.
Yeah, and if you looked at their rankings, Cara France was actually below. I think he was number 9.
Didn't even make it. It didn't make any sense.
I don't know.
Anyways. All right.
Oh.
The fight happened. The fight went exactly like we thought it would. Megan Anderson got clipped real quick, and just the power was just too much. It was done. Over. Good stoppage. Good job, ref.
So much for the Buster Douglas, Mike Tyson scenario.
Yeah. You know.
42-1.
It'll happen
Gonna
one day. It'll happen.
Yeah, somewhere.
And let's talk main event. Here we go. I mean, Izzy. He's got a 1 now instead of a 0.
Yeah.
Well, this is another one of those fights that you said that Izzy was going to win, and you were wrong.
I thought Izzy would win it. I thought technically on the feet he's better, and he was.
John, you were wrong a lot this card.
Oh my God. Man. You
John,
want to talk about wrong? Listen, we go down the card. We go down the card. Look at you.
John, you were wrong a lot. Nice. Just admit it, John. John, you were wrong. I want the world to hear you say you were wrong.
On this fight, I was wrong. I picked Izzy.
You guys,
Izzy.
everybody hear that. I picked Jan. I picked Blachowicz. I picked him. Hey,
Mr. Fence Rider jumping back.
I
and
did
forth.
not.
You're pathetic.
I was not a fence rider.
I think you changed your mind like 7
You shut
times
up
today.
over there. No one asked you. You shut your whore mouth. I love that. I love that little line.
I will say I really was impressed with the last 2 rounds, especially of Yan, because he took him down, and you could see Izzy was trying. No way was he getting up.
No,
and Yan did a really good job in that checking of the kick. Did that very well, and he did exactly what I talked about. He went to the body fairly often.
Mm-hmm.
He still tried to headhunt a little bit too much for me, but he did go to the body, and it had some effect on Izzy. And a couple of those kicks, same kind of kick that he landed on Dominick Reyes, right up into the rib area and stuff. A couple of those landed solid.
Yeah. I thought I would have to agree with that. It was a good fight, a good performance by Izzy. I thought he did a lot of good things. He just needed a little bit more output, but I understand why he didn't have as much output, because I think he felt the power of Yan a couple times, and you can't afford to make a mistake. He came out of there. Sure, he has a loss, but he came out of there pretty much unscathed. Like, he can go back down.
Definitely was unscathed.
He can go back down to 185 and be like, you know what? I went up. I gave it a try. Didn't work out. I'll be back. He's kind of in that. He's in that category. What is he? 31 years old. I think he's gonna probably go back down there, smash 1 or 2 more guys, and he'll probably come up to 205. Maybe put on the weight properly and take his time. Probably within the next year and a half or so. There's no reason for him to really hang out down there at 185 much longer. So I think this was a good opportunity for him to get a feel of how good Yan is and what kind of the real weight structure would be of it, and what he had to deal with. Yan came out and said afterwards, he's like, I was expecting him to be faster. He wasn't as fast, but he hit harder than I thought he would hit. That makes a lot of sense, Yeah. Izzy does a lot of that. What Anderson did, a lot of the movement, a lot of the feints, that makes them seem like they're faster than they really are, because you're hesitant. You blink, and the next thing you know, you're getting hit, and you're like, oh man, they're super fast. When in reality, they're not really that fast. Well, Anderson was. Izzy is, I'm sure, as well. But it's the hesitation, the blinking. It makes them seem like they're so much faster than they normally are.
I will say, man, I can't believe how many feints Yan Blachowicz responded to.
Yeah.
Man, he was biting on those hard at times. And I was like, but even when he was biting hard, Izzy didn't take advantage of a lot of it. He really didn't. So, but it's a great win for Yan Blachowicz, and I'm happy for him. Being that he's the light heavyweight, he had something to prove. He did. He went out there. He got the job done. So congratulations to him. It was a really good performance by him. Started a little slow, but kept building. In the end, even when I thought he was actually starting to get tired, you saw him actually starting to breathe pretty hard. Still, made it through no problem. So very nice performance.
Yeah, his timing on the takedowns was the key. Like, his timing on the takedowns. He threw the punch, waited for Izzy to kind of throw something, ducked underneath, and just kept driving. He didn't just get to him and stop. He drove all the way through him.
Rugby style, baby.
Yes, very much rugby style. Very good stuff. Very good stuff.
Yeah.
It was kind of, honestly, nothing against the main card, but the prelims stole the show, man.
Oh, yeah.
The prelims stole the show. If you scroll down to those prelims, like, Dave, can you scroll down for me, please? If you scroll down, all of the prelims, I didn't see the first 3 fights, as I already admitted, but from Sean Brady all the way up, I was like, this is really good. Every fight was really good. I was very impressed with the whole thing. All of them. Like I said, Dom came back, had a great performance.
All the way through.
Kyler Phillips fought a great fight. Askarov fought a great fight. Kai Kara France fought a great fight.
No. We didn't even talk about that one.
Which one? Kai
Kara France against Rogerio Bontorin.
Oh, yeah. Great fight. I thought he fought a great fight.
Well, he was getting the ever-living
worked all over the ground.
Piss squeezed out.
And he stayed composed.
Most of the round. Yeah, he did. He stayed composed and landed beautiful shots right at the end of that round. But there was some confusion in that. And this is where you were talking about your Herb Dean thing. There was confusion, and it's because of Herb. We have referee mechanics. And one of the things, and this is when people look back and they go, why did why did Kai Kara France go after him after he did that circle? Well, the reason he went after him, his coach, Eugene Berriman, told him to, because Herb did not signal the end of the fight. That's Herb's job. Now, you can sit there and say what you want, but the reason that we take our hands and put them over our heads, or you'll see a guy waving his hand, that tells everyone the fight's over. The reason why the clock, people are like, well, even the clock didn't stop. The clock didn't stop because the timekeeper is looking for the signal from the referee. What is that signal? That hand or both hands coming up. When Herb doesn't do that, that's a breakdown in the mechanics. He's supposed to do that. He knows he's supposed to do that, but he was concentrating on the hurt fighter in Rogerio, who, he face planted, and when he got up, you saw him falling again. Kai Kara was nice and moved away from him, but it was his coach that told him to go back, and that's why he went back, and Herb had to kind of like push him away. That's all on Herb. He has got to signal the end of the fight. There's a mechanic for it. He knows the mechanic, and when you don't do it, this is what can happen.
Should Herb have stopped the fight, though?
Absolutely. Did you see the freaking how badly hurt Rogerio was when he tried to get up? You see his leg go chicken, and he going back down. What do you want? Can you intelligently defend yourself?
He didn't really stop the fight, though. Kai Kara France ran around the cage.
I know.
And there was enough.
Did you just hear what I just
talked about? He could have gotten up. He could have got the bell rang. The round was over. It ended like a second later after that whole thing. That's what my point was. Like, he had a whole minute to sit on the stool and get his head back.
The fight was called at 4:55. There's 5 seconds left in the round.
Who called the fight? You said he never waved it off.
I'm saying the time for the fight ending is 4:55. I didn't say Herb signaled it.
Yeah.
I'm saying he's saying he called it.
Gotcha. Okay. But what I'm talking about is in live scenario, right? Where he runs around. He never really called the fight. So then as a fighter.
He didn't. Herb in his mind called the fight.
Yeah.
Okay. When he comes in between them, he's calling the fight, but he didn't signal it. So what he knows and what everyone else knows are two different things.
Yeah. Okay, that translates real well on TV.
That's why it looked bad.
Well, here's my other thing. Is as a ref, are you allowing the fighter to force you into calling the fight?
No.
By doing that?
No.
Because Herb looked like he was lost. Like he didn't know whether to stop the fight or not stop the fight.
Okay, but how many times you saw when Amanda Hebus fought Marina Rodriguez, and Marina Rodriguez walked away from Amanda Hebus when she hurt her, and Herb was right there, and he said, I didn't stop it. You got to go back at her.
Yeah.
He's done that. So
yeah, I just feel like sometimes the walk-off will sometimes get the ref to stop the fight.
Never. I mean, it could. I'm not saying it hasn't in certain fights, but if you're anybody that's of substance, and if you're going to stop it, no one tells you to stop.
Yeah. Interesting. Because, I mean, by the time Kara France ran around the cage and came back, the round was pretty much over. His opponent had a minute to kind of sit up on the stool if he could get up, okay, and walk his ass back to the stool and take the minute round to recover. I mean, that in my mind, because
he still would have been doing the funky chicken
he
back
would
to
have.
his corner.
He probably would have. He probably could have crawled back to the corner and got back on his stool and just sat there for a minute. But that was my point. My point was I wanted to get into the fact that, like, if the round ended, he never really signaled for the round to end or for the fight to be over, and then the bell rings, it just seems like such a delay that you'd have to let the round go on and see if he can get up and go to his corner or not. It was just a really bad stoppage in terms of, like you said, there was no relay of what was. He jumped in, jumped out, kind of looked around. He's like, what's going on? He looked more lost than everybody else. So anytime I get a chance to jab at Herb,
it was the right thing to do to stop the fight.
I agree.
It was a sportsmanlike thing by Kai Kara France to move away from him. It was the right thing for Herb to stop the fight. One thing that was missing was that signal. And the reason we have that signal is that tells everyone through sign language, basically, this fight is over.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment you guys have all been waiting for. John is a homer for referees.
No, I'm saying he made a mechanical mistake.
I love it.
We have what we call mechanics. He made a mistake. He didn't use that mechanic.
That's true. He looked lost. All right, guys. Well, hey, I want to hopefully you guys enjoyed that recap real quick of UFC 259 and go to mybookie.ag and use the promo code weighing in and they'll give you a little extra money. So hopefully you guys use that tonight. Did not take John's advice if you wanted to win some money. Maybe took my advice because I would have bet on Jan, but I'm not a betting man because I already lost all my money. But use the promo code weighing in. They'll give you a little extra cash at mybookie.ag. What you got for us podcast day for some news, buddy?
So this was biggest news out of the week. So Dana White is hoping to get this next pay-per-view and into one of the Houston arenas.
Yeah, he tried Dallas. It didn't work. They told him no.
So he's trying to get into Houston. He's trying to get UFC 260 over there. He said if he had time based on it, like this week, he would have moved this show to there as well. So he says he wants to be the first one to get fans back in the US.
Yeah, I mean, go to Florida.
Go to Texas. Why not?
Well, Texas, I don't know if they're opening up. Yeah, but I don't know if they're willing to do sold out crowds. He's saying Texas with a sold out crowd. Let's dial it down a little bit. Let's try like maybe 10,000 fans. You know, let's go to an arena that has big enough space to do 10,000 fans, spread them out in a 20,000 seat arena and see what happens. I don't know. I don't know what state's going to take that chance right now because that's going to bring it. And then the other thing, I'm all for it, but I'm saying like, Dana, you're really, really fucking jabbing the politicians right now trying to do that. Like they're going to come at you going, oh, we remember you at the.
You think he cares?
No, yeah, I don't think he does, but I'm simply saying he's jabbing him though. It's going to make it harder for him to do business. And I know it's been hard for him before, you know, but they've been able to pull some strings and get things done. But right now it's a different time, you know, and this is a different situation than we've ever been in with this pandemic and, you know, and cancel culture and all this other shit that goes on. It's like I'm just saying, like they're gonna start pulling at the heartstrings on a lot of this shit, and it's gonna get into it'll go all over social media and become a problem if he's able to have a sold out arena in any of these states. Doesn't matter what state it is. So I think he's got to tread. I'm not saying he should tread carefully in terms of how he speaks about it, but when it does happen, if it does happen, he's got to be a little cautious and careful about it being a sold out arena. I think if you're gonna have they can have it in a big football arena or something like that where there's more space and do 20,000 people in 150,000 or not 150, 100,000 seat arena. But if you start trying to put them into a hockey arena where it's only 18,000 seats and you're trying to get sold out 18,000, they got to go in the doors and out the doors. And is there masks? Is there not masks? Well, in Texas and Florida, there's no mask mandates anymore. Yeah. It just gives them reasons, gives reasons to start blaming him for being a super spreader. And I just think you stay away from that right now. I understand let's have fans. I'm all for it, but let's ease into it a little bit just so we don't fuck our fighters over because now they'll shut it down or do whatever. It's like these guys train hard, man. I'd like to see him get some business, not be shut down for a while. Anyways.
I look and I just, you know, the fights have been, for the most part, that they've been putting on have been so good.
They have been.
You know, just I look at it's like maybe we don't want fans back.
Nah, we do.
I know. I'm saying go Dana, go.
Yeah.
No, Dana White, go, baby. Go.
John, how we feel about it is we both would love the idea to see fans back in there.
Yeah, go Dana, go.
I would love it. I just don't want it to be where it affects the sport because politicians start butting their nose into it more and going, hey, you know, you should do this and do that. I know. We shouldn't get into it. We don't talk politics on this. Next thing.
Roy Jones Jr. challenges Anderson Silva to a boxing match.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been talking about that for the last 10 years.
Yeah. It's gone.
Well,
I mean, look, this is what this Triller thing is doing, right? What is Triller, by the way?
It's a promotion.
Oh, it is. Oh, I thought it was
no different than Golden Boy or Match Room or.
What a horrible name.
I know.
Triller, like Michael Jackson.
Thriller? That's exactly what I thought.
I thought Thriller. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
God, it's sad to think that John was thinking the same thing I was thinking. The age
I
gap
was. It's horrible.
Well, then there's
so Michael Jackson is my age, and he's gone. So it was. He was a great entertainer, though.
No, he was. I had no desire to see the fight.
Oh no.
If it was bare knuckle boxing, I'd watch it. I'm sorry, I would. I'd watch bare knuckle boxing with Roy Jones and Anderson. I'd watch it. Yeah, but speaking of bare knuckle boxing, I guess apparently bare knuckle boxing offered Overeem and Dos Santos contracts. We'll see if they take it. I just don't think it's a thing for the heavyweights to go to. If you already have some problems with your chin, don't go there. Do I don't know. I think a lot of companies would pay you to do grappling matches. Chael's shows, Sug would do it. Some
but hold on. And I love Chael's show. Submission Underground is a great thing, but you can only pay a small amount.
Yeah, but it's grappling. I'd take a small amount.
How many grappling matches are you gonna get?
Fucking every week. Sign me up.
He doesn't have a show every week.
I'm not getting hit on the face. Who gives a shit? I can do that every week.
I know you can do it every week. I'm just saying there's not a show for you every week.
I'll be part of the Quick Tap Club too. Like, just say so I can go. I can be the Jeremy Horn. Let's fight the next weekend. Compete the next weekend.
Whoa!
What?
Jeremy Horn didn't tap.
No, I know that. I know, but he fought the next weekend. So within submissions, you don't want to get something hurt. Yeah. So you want to be able to compete the next week. So
it was usually Jeremy Horn doing the submission.
Yeah, it was. He was also fighting at Fairgrounds. So
at times,
yes,
fought a couple of your friends.
Yeah, did he?
Quite a few times.
He fought Trevor. He fought Trevor.
That
was in the UFC though.
Chael 3 times.
He did. Did he really?
3 times.
Trevor fought Chael 3 times. Chael liked to have a lot of repeat fights. Yeah. What else you got for us?
Last piece of news we have is Nate Diaz, the Conor Nate Diaz exchange. I don't know if you guys were following that the last couple of days, but Nate.
We know you were.
Yeah.
You were like one of those WWE like drama guys.
Well, speaking of WWE, Bobby Lashley won the title. Did you see
that? My boy, Bobby Lashley won the WWE. What title did he win?
The most prestigious one.
What is that one? The heavyweight.
Hold it. You got to explain to me, Dave. What's the difference in prestige of a WWE belt?
It's the lineage of incredible champions that have held.
So is he like equivalent now to like Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Wow.
Yep, they've all held it.
Man, Bobby's the
man.
All right.
And and just to make sure, they've all held it because Vince McMahon chose for them to win that night, right?
John, have you never watched the WrestleMania?
The
Rock is in there and he lays the smackdown on their candy ass.
Isn't that what it is? It's Vince McMahon decides who's gonna win.
John, don't ruin this for me.
Oh, I'll tell you.
John, he just said he lays their fucking candy ass smackdown. I don't even know what he said. He said something like that. Oh, jeez.
Anyway, back to Nate Diaz, Conor, and there's this whole trilogy of like triangle of back and forth right now between these 3 guys, and obviously they're trying to say that Conor and Poirier will fight in July, and then I guess anything is open after that for the 3-way.
For the 3-way. Okay, so you're saying Nate, Dustin, and Conor are all together in this conversation with,
or they're all together in something.
Yeah, is Justin Gaethje in this too, or no? Just Dustin. Oh, okay, interesting. I mean, I read what Nate had to say. Nate said, "Can you pull up his tweet?" He basically just said, "I made you look like a bitch, and you are a bitch, and says I fucked you up, and you never got it back, but you acted like you did. Now you get a rematch every time you get your ass beat like a spoiled little bitch." So he just. Oh man, I've done it all and I'm still here. Plus the guy who just beat your ass is scared. Little bitch also. Fuck you both. It's
kind of hard to say you done it all when you didn't win the belt and you didn't win the BMF belt either.
Yeah, I mean, but he has kind of done it all. I mean, outside of just winning the belt, I mean, he's done it all. He's been there. You know? He's fought at 170 also. He's fought at 155.
Yep.
I don't know if he's ever fought at 45, but
I think he's brilliant. I'm sorry. Yeah. He just takes and jumps himself right into the middle of things. And so you look and you go, way to go, Nate. Way to go.
Conor
when he does it.
Go ahead.
Conor looks what?
He looks super scary in that top picture.
That's 145. That's the weight he would lose, man. He looked like a concentration camp. I'm being honest. That's the look of someone that is gonna die.
Yeah, that's horrible.
I mean, he's got obviously, but I mean, that's bad. That's scary.
Yeah,
that's the way he should look on the bottom. That's a healthy athlete. The one on top is not a healthy athlete.
Yeah, that's not good. I'm surprised he had such great performances in that weight. You know, he looked good. He fought. He looked really good at that weight.
Yeah.
Oh man, what else you got? Nothing else?
That's it for news.
Yep. Jeez, man, it was pretty much all the card tonight.
Yeah, well, there was a lot going on.
What do you think, John? What do you think about the sport right now and the direction it's going?
Right now, it's taking off. We got great fights coming up. There's, as far as I'm seeing, most of the promotions are just going after putting their best against the other guy that someone thinks is the best. Things are good. Things are good right now in MMA.
What can they do? What do you think they can do to make it better?
Oh, if I were king, there's a lot of things that they could do to make it better, but they're not going to get done.
Well, okay, so let's go back to can you pull up the fight card again for me, Dave? I'm trying to remember what fight it was. Oh, the Santos and Rakic fight. It comes down to the fight. The rounds were so close. Do you give it a half? I know we've talked about half scoring systems. How do we get rid of this? Because there's times where guys get the guys will get the takedown and they dominate. All right, let's go to Casey Kennedy and Dominick Cruz as well. Okay, is Dom gets the takedowns and is able to control the position. That's more of controlling and being able to do some work versus just having a stand-up fight that's close, but one guy's edging him out. It's still a 10-9 round versus the one that dominated the third and fourth round or whatever it is, second and third round. That should be it won't be 10. Like the other round should have been a 9.5 and a 10, and then the other one should have been a 10-9 round. That half point makes a lot. It means a lot as you go on throughout, especially in a 5-round fight. But in a 3-round fight, it can make a difference as well.
Well, it does. Dave, roll that up. What was the fight that there was that they gave 10-8s? I'm trying to think. Tim Elliott, Jordan Espinosa. Let's talk about that one. Because Tim Elliott, upon taking Jordan Espinosa down, we're not going to talk about the first round takedown. We'll talk about the second and third round. He got those fairly early, and he dominated him on top. And one judge gave it 10-8 for 2 rounds. 2 judges gave Tim Elliott 10-9 on every round. So what you're trying to do is say, okay, why? What's the difference here? Well, if you had that 10-8-5, I bet all 3 judges would have gone 10-8-5. Because it's an easier thing to go instead of I'm going all the way into this. Let me break it down this way, as simple as it can get. Right now, if you take a look at MMA and you say, all right, we have a 10-10 round. Do we use it? No. The only time we really are going to use that is on a round that a foul occurs and there was 25 seconds of the round has gone by and the judges really can't say that anyone was doing better. And so they got to score the round. They're going to go at 10-10. Other than that, very few times do people do 10-10. And it's usually the fights that are incredibly boring, bad, slow, that are the ones you would go more towards a 10-10. You're going to get fans all the time going, wow, that fight had all this stuff going. There was a lot. It was great. I think it's a 10-10. You're an idiot. Okay. If you have all that information, you should be able to tell the difference of who wins that round. When you have a lot of information, it's easier to say who's winning it. When you have very little happening, it becomes the problem of, who are we going to give this round to based upon they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So we don't use the 10-10. So we use 10-9 and we use 10-8. Very rarely will we see a 10-7. Okay. But we'll say that we use that. There's 3. We don't see any 10-6s. Never happens in MMA. Okay. Or has never happened. So if we have those and we're using basically 3 scores for all of our fights. So let's break it down and say, all right, let's go with a half point system. So 10-10 is the same thing. We're not going to see it very often. Let's say super close round. Okay. Basically kind of rounds that you had, in the Blachowicz, Adesanya first couple of rounds, they're really close. Someone gets 10, someone gets 9-5. Saying that, you know what, that was a really close round. So there's 1, 10, 9.5. Then we go 10-9. Then we have 10-8-5. Then we do have 10-8. Then we do have 10-7-5. And we do have 10-7. Now, instead of 3, we doubled the amount of scores that we can actually use in the fight based upon certain criteria. And it would make the rounds easier for judges on a lot of them. And it would make the fight more understandable to the fans as far as why did this round when this guy did this much more, but they both got 10-9s? Because that's all the judge could give based upon there wasn't enough in the criteria for him to give a 10-8. And sometimes when there is, the judge is afraid to do it, and they don't, because Tim Elliott, based upon domination and duration of that domination, should have gotten a 10-8 in those rounds.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, it does, especially if the fight is really close and you have a 10-9 and a 10-9.5. It's like it's so close, and that round can make a difference going in. If that round happens in the first round, that can make a difference moving forward into the third or second and third and fourth and fifth if it's a 5-round fight. It sucks seeing that this round was really close. This round was really close. And that guy won both those rounds, but they were very close. But then I dominated the last round, but I didn't get a 10-8. So now I lose. It's like, oh, shit. But if it was half, and then I dominated, pretty much a draw.
Or 10-8-5.
Or 10-8-5.
And you win.
Yeah, that's true.
By half a point.
Yeah. Yep. Little changes. Gotta take baby steps.
That ain't gonna happen.
Never.
Just so you know, it ain't gonna happen.
Never.
If I could tell you the inside story.
No.
Ugh.
All right, guys. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed our recap of this show and this breakdown. And hey, it's been a pleasure. ProWrestlingTees.com/WayneIn. Use the promo code 100K. It's not case sensitive, but we're trying to get 100,000 subscribers. So we want to make sure you guys help us with that. And you know how you help us with that? You hit the thumbs up, hit the little bell off to the side as well to get our notifications. So tomorrow morning when this drops at 6 a.m. for you guys, okay, some of you guys 9 a.m., some of you guys across the world be another time because I'm not good at math, so I won't figure it out. But it really just comes down to if you hit that little bell there on the right-hand corner, it'll let you know. We've actually jumped almost 1,000 since Wednesday, so that's awesome. You guys are doing a great job. I want to thank you guys for that as well. So hit the thumbs up. That shares our videos. That's also puts our videos ahead of everybody else. So when you guys are viewing MMA videos, our video will come up as well. We want to thank you guys so much, and hopefully you guys enjoy the shirts. Also, we have on the ProWrestlingTees.com, we have the March 17th St. Paddy's Day shirt. It's green. It will be taken off the website on the 17th. So try and pick it up before then so you can rock our weighing in logo shirt from St. Paddy's Day. What do you think?
I think exactly what you're saying. Thank you to everyone. To the guys sending me things on like Twitter and stuff, showing me their man cave with our show up on the screen and things like that. Way to go. Just now go tell your friends. But we appreciate you listening and thank you for being a fan of the show because we love doing it.
Anything else to say?
Yeah. See ya.